Hello my sweet friends and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're listening, welcome to the Girl I Needed podcast. So for this season, because we made it through season number 1 and I am so excited. I'm like, wow, look at us, season 1 and done. But now we're on season 2, which is just gonna be just as great. But what I want to focus on for this these 10 next episodes, or these 10 next weeks, these next 10 weeks, wow, y'all know grammar me, is that I want to focus on little quotes from this book right here that I've been reading that is so powerful. It's just amazing. It's called Bamboozled by Yvonne Orji, and I just think it's fantastic. It's exactly what I needed to get through this rough season of my life. Well, rough, quote unquote. But I think the book is great. I highly encourage you to read it. But I feel like by going through this 10 weeks, you're gonna want to read it because it's just that good. But anyway, the first topic for today is purposeful over popular, and I got that from this quote that she said in the book. She said, if you're only focused on what's popular, you're gonna miss out on doing what's purposeful. The purpose for our lives, the purpose that God has placed us on this earth to do, may not always line up or equal to what the world calls popular. But we have to stand firm in our calling. We have to just walk forward in purpose. And I think this word today will encourage us. So the first scripture I want to touch on, which she mentioned in her book. So the good thing is I didn't have to do much preaching because she put it all in that chapter. And I was like, girl, thanks. But anyway, the scripture is Proverbs 4, verse 25 through 27, and it says, let your eyes look forward, fix your gaze straight ahead, carefully consider the path for your feet, and all your ways will be established. Don't turn to the right or to the left. Keep your feet away from evil. I feel like the world is a beautiful place. I love it. I just think out there is just amazing. However, sometimes I'd be tired of just the people. I just be tired of the world making things, I just be like, why? Like, why? Let me show y'all with this. Like, even this something. Everyone knows, like, I love Converse. I love Converse. I wear Converse basically every day. I would wear them every day if I could. And I've been wearing Converse since I believe the 9th grade. Had my pair of Converse for the night, so they hold up. Love them. Like I said, love them. Go to the gym and I'm doing everything in them. All of a sudden, about I would say 2 months ago or a couple of weeks ago, they decided to come up with some logo which kind of looked demonic, and I was like, why we gotta do this, Converse? So I have not worn Converse. I wore them one time, right? And I was like, God, I understand, but could we just not? What if they didn't mean it like that, right? And I was like, God, I'm gonna wear these Converse because no one really looking at my feet. Like, I'm gonna wear them to run to the store. No one really looking at it. Could be fine, okay, God? But don't worry, I can stop wearing them. I'm gonna stop wearing them. I gonna want no one ever compliments my Converse. Never. I walk in Walmart thinking I've made it out. This random girl, she's like, hey, I like your Converse. Mom, you may have seen that as a compliment, but what you just showed me is that I can't wear these shoes anymore because people are witching. And if you say you represent the body of Christ, you say you're part of it, you represent Christ, how you could be wearing Converse and they saying demonic things and doing demonic things and have demonic logos? So they doing the opposite of what you're saying, but as a Christian, you're there rocking these Converse saying, Converse is the best shoes in the world. They're not. So with that being said, I had to start wearing my Converse. But the thing is, like, people might be like, Deshna, you doing too much. That's this. But the thing is, as my personal conviction was to not wear the Converse anymore. And like I said, as I walk in my purpose, as I stand, says righteousness, I cannot be saying, oh, Converse are popular. I love Converse. Let me continue to rock my Converse. It's okay. Just because I don't know what God has planned for me in the future. And the thing is, like I said, as you walk, there's going to be little things in life that you have to do that's going to look crazy, and people are gonna look at you and be like, you doing too much, or I don't think it's all that, or blah 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 blah, what have you. But these small little things that you do are for your purpose, and it's for a bigger purpose. It's for something bigger than what you can currently see. So in that moment, like, yeah, every day I wake up, I look at the Converse. I'm not throwing them out yet, not yet, but I will throw them out. Maybe I'll record and show. Maybe I'll throw it out at the end of this episode. I'm gonna cry. Anyway, it's fine. But it's like, basically, just because I might not understand the purpose of it right now, and maybe I will never understand the purpose, but I just know that only what is done for God will last. So yeah, Converse, I mean, it's a shoe. So it's not the end of the world. Like, I can start wearing the shoes, if they want to profess whatever they want to profess, I can't be a part of that because I say Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. And if you're opposing him, if you're trying to call people to some whatever demonic thing you got going on, I cannot be a part of that. You understand what I'm saying? So that's a little aspect of doing what's purposeful rather than what's popular. Because like I said, a lot of people like Converse. Like, most people own a pair of Converse. Like, I'm sure almost everyone owns a pair of Converse somewhere. And if you're watching this and you own Converse, I'm sorry. Anyway, but I don't know why I decided to shut up, but it's fine. So basically my first point, because I was not in the notes, my first point is, in the room, there is only something you have to offer. So the thing is, you might be like, man, I'm just a little small fry. That's what my mom called them. But small fry, and I really have nothing to offer, but only you have something. So when you're hired to that job, when you're brought into that group, when you're leading that foundation, whatever have you, when you're starting that business, just know that you might look at it, or writing that book as a nurse, you might look at it and be like, wow, I don't feel I'm qualified. But there's something that only you have, and I say this all the time, that only you have, that the world needs to see, that someone needs to see, that your little sister needs to see. That because a lot of times we figure out, oh, we have to go out there and change the world, and our target audience is someplace across the goal, whereas the target audience of the person God has watching you is right and living on the side of you. You wake up on the side of him. That is the person you are supposed to change. That is the life you are supposed to impact. So just always be walking in your purpose. Always, no matter when the blinds are closed, no matter if it's 8 o'clock at night or 8 a.m. in the morning, you have to be walking in your purpose and not in what's popular, because everyone is watching all the time, and who you are all the time matters. I feel like who we are matters more when we feel like no one is watching than when we feel like everyone is watching, because that shows your true intentions, that shows who you are, and that is where the beautiful moments happen. Point number 2. Do what you can with what you've got where you are. And that is a quote by Teddy Roosevelt. The thing is, a lot of times, and I say this all the time, we like to say, oh, I'll do this when I get that, or oh, I'll do this when I get that. But the thing is, ain't nobody wants to support somebody that always say, yeah, I'm gonna. We want to see action, people. We want to see action. So when you're walking in your purpose, walk in your purpose, doing the things that you want to do with what you have. To this day, when I started this, what's it called? YouTube channel. I started this YouTube channel with my telephone, which I am still recording on. Does it look a little better than when I first got it? Yeah, the background is always changing because, yeah, but it looks a lot better because number 1, y'all are on a tripod now, and number 2, we have a ring light now. But the thing is, the person who gifted this to me, if I said, yeah, I'm gonna start a YouTube channel, but you know, I need a $300 camera, you might have been like, well, she don't look like she's serious. Let me not think of. But the thing is, I was starting there with my thing, so he was like, oh, I can help you with that. You already start. Okay, how do we make this better? And then he gave me the tripod, he gave me the microphone for this podcast. But it's like, ain't nobody willing to support it. Nobody can watch or nobody can read what you refuse to put out. You can say for 5 years, I want to start a YouTube channel, I want to write a book, I want to do this. And nobody could read it in that 5 years. You were just talking about it, saying, I'll do this and this and this and this, when you can be perfecting your craft and purpose as you just walk it out or just do it what you have. If you start typing the book out on your laptop and just start typing, you never know like who can come up out of nowhere and be like, hey, I heard you were writing a book. I'll be willing to finance it. Or hey, I heard you're starting a podcast. Like, can I buy you a microphone? Or hey, I heard you're starting a podcast. I would like to like sponsor it. If you would just, like say this thing on your thing, I'm gonna give you $500 a month. Excuse me, but you don't know, because ain't nobody can listen or ain't nobody can see what you have to offer if you just saying, I refuse to do it because I have nothing. Everyone has something, and trust me, if God has put it on your heart, you have the resources. It might not look like you have it, but no, I can guarantee you have it. It's like, for instance, if you want to start to write a book, don't you have a laptop? Okay, start typing. If you want to start a book and don't you have a notebook and a pen? Oh, okay, don't you have a brain? So put it there, put the title, put the table of contents, just put what you want so you can start to see it in action play out. You want to start someone called me the other day, like a few days ago, and they wanted to start a podcast. And I think it was the same thing about me. Like you don't realize how easy things are until you start to talk about them or walk it out or strategize how you want to do them. Or like another thing is somebody else, because, okay, so the thing is, they called me and they were like, oh, Dejan, I saw you have a podcast. Like, how do I do that? If I never started the podcast, they may have still not been like, oh my gosh, a podcast. Because they thought having a podcast cost money. Having a podcast is completely free. So if you want to start a podcast, please go and do it. But the thing is, for instance, me, like my podcast, Lord, please, I hope it take off. Maybe it wouldn't, but the thing is, my podcast may never take off. Who knows? But their podcast might be the next biggest thing. But if I never started this little thing and say, oh yeah, a podcast is free. This is what I did. Please go out there and do it. Or the only thing you might need to do is pay somebody to do this and this. They may have never started their podcast or never like been strategizing, or now they're planning to start their podcast, hopefully like in January of 2022. But it's like their podcast could be the next thing. So my little starting this may have impacted them to impact other people. So it's just a chain reaction of you walking in your purpose, or God using you in that moment to plant a seed in others. But if you just sit there forever and say, oh, I have nothing, then the thing is, guess what? You ain't gonna ever start, because you it ain't gonna drop in your lap. I'm so sorry. This is tough love today. The next point is bring you. If that's all you've got, bring you. Okay? Stand up there and say, this is what I have, this is who I am. I'ma just bring me. If it's a spunky personality, if it's a style that just nobody can deny, bring you. There's a light in you, there's a spark in you, there's a shine in you that we want to see. We want to see, because you radiate. I feel like we all radiate success. It's just, are we willing to tap into it? Because a lot of people ain't. And the thing is, you have to speak purpose over yourself as well. A lot of times, like I say, don't be a woe is me. We don't have time for that. But the thing is, speak purpose, walk in purpose. Know that you are a prize, and like other people might not see it, but once you see it, that's all that matters. Because a lot of time we'd be like, oh, my Billy Bob J uncle back in 2010 told me I wouldn't amount to anything. He may have not amounted to anything, but you have the power to amount to everything you want and more, and grasp what you want. Because the only person who the things, yes, we have things that hinder us, or yes, we have things in our way, but we make our choices. We are the one that decides where we're going. The thing is that, are you willing to work hard enough? So if you are, bring you, and bring your hard work, bring your drive, bring your desire, and go get it. Because like I said, there's only one of you in the world. So bring you, because we need you. God will not allow you to be overlooked. I'm so sorry. As a child of the King, and his word declares, his word tells us that he knows the plans he thinks towards us. And guess what, guys? I can't stress this enough, but God's word is true. If we would just read it right here, it's right here. If we would just read it and understand that his word is true. And the thing is, if he says he knows the plans he thinks towards us, guess what? He's thinking those thoughts. So the thing is, if someone told you, like if someone tells you, oh yeah, you should ask for that, and you cringe at that thought because you're like, there's no way, no one's ever going to bring me that, I'm so sorry. But guess what? They're gonna give you that. They're gonna give you that. God ain't gonna have you out here, or God will not just have people telling you things off air. It's crazy to think that the thing, like I might come to you and be like, oh, you see that house over there? I think in 5 years you might own that. You might be like, ha ha ha, Deshna, you're so funny. Ha ha ha. And guess what? In 5 years, not only do you have that house, but someone maybe built a little, the person who owned it before you built a little shed or some little theme park on the side that's also yours. But the thing is, you have to know that whereas the things, like for instance, Sarah, wow, we're coming. Sarah, how she laughed at when the angels came and said, oh yeah, you're gonna have a son, and she laughed. The thing is, we be laughing, or we be thinking, that ain't it. Stop it, that ain't gonna ever happen. And guess what? That was God telling you it's bold to happen. But are you ready? Are you ready? Or are you getting prepared? Are you willing to hear thousands of no's? Are you willing to just be prepared? Get prepared in this season of waiting. But you might be like, oh yeah, they telling me that gonna happen, but I don't believe that gonna happen because I'm looking at my present situation. We are not our present situation. We are not our present circumstance. We have to know that what God has placed in our hearts, those desires, they're there for a reason, and we have to walk in our purpose. Not even until we get them, but continue walking in our purpose all the ways until our lives are done. I'm sorry, but I don't want to get to heaven and God tell me what I could have been if I only worked with the little he has given me, because he couldn't bless me with the great things, because he was like, this now, I told you to start the YouTube channel, you refused to because you kept waiting on this random camera, and I couldn't give you a random camera because I wanted you to build up your confidence in like just getting prepared or getting on camera or being on camera, playing with lighting and getting strategic. But you wouldn't work with this little I gave you, and this is who I wanted you to be, but you didn't do that, and now we're here. I don't want to do that. I want to work with the little he has given me now, so when he blesses me, I am ready for action, ready to take off in strides. But a lot of times we only want the big blessings. We don't want to work with the little. So work with you, work with the little you have. Everything that you have, everything that you need is on for your purpose right now. Your current purpose is at your fingertips. But look around, ask around. It's right there, the resources. But are you willing to, like I said, work for it? Because God's not overlooking you. He's giving you everything you need in small little doses so he can prepare you for the big, wonderful blessing that's coming. So work with what you have, because God's looking at you. He knows it. He's gathering the people. He's gathering them. I'm just joking, but no, I'm not joking actually. I'm very, very serious. It may not always be popular, or this is the last thing, but it may not always be popular or profitable, but it will always be purposeful. And the last story I want to leave you with is Noah. We all know the story of Noah. Noah was building that ark. First of all, Noah was an old man, so I certainly thought he had dementia. It was like, yeah, he losing it. But he building that ark, and everyone's like, look at that old man go. His family, even like they, look at them enabling it. I'm talking foolishness. Look at them taking the animal. Look at that elephant going in. And everyone's like, laughing at Noah. But look, Noah and his family was saved. So it wasn't popular at that time, but it was purposeful, and he listened. He saved all the animals so we can go outside and look at all the beautiful animals. Every time I see a video of a cute dog in TikTok, I cry a little bit. So imagine the world without dogs. We have no one to walk in his purpose. So you have to walk in your purpose. As people may laugh at you, they'll be like, I can't believe that girl is out there doing that. She looks crazy. She seems crazy. But at the end of the day, when the boat was going, the people was knocking on the boat, but it was too late. So it's like, just walk in your purpose. Just do what you are called to do. Go do what God tells you to do, even if you look a little crazy. Because I feel like at the end of the day, God will he will never overlook you, and he will never have you looking crazy. And then because God has the final say, and his final say is so amazing. It's gonna blow your mind. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. As always, if you don't listen to the Girl I Need a podcast, you should, because I think I sound really good in your cars or in your headphones, don't I? ASMR. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I don't know why I did that. And then follow me on Instagram, which is my same name, Tisha Cal. That's nice. And then also, if you are listening to the Girl I Need a podcast, you should type it in on YouTube, Tisha Cal, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, and comment. What is your purpose, or what do you feel like you are called to do? Thank you so much for listening. Have the best week. See you next week. Bye.